First thing we want to do to make this easier is remove the rad cap. Make sure your rad is cool before you do it, otherwise you might get sprayed and permanently burn yourself like a fucking idiot. Alright, now we're going to drain the coolant. See how tight this cocksucker is. There we go. Drain into some sort of bucket or something, or drain it on the ground, I don't fucking care. Well, I'm not sure what's going on here, but this fan sure broke free a lot easier than the last time I had it off. I was trying to get it set up and put it on film, but unfortunately, it's not the case. So in order to change the water pump, you gotta get your fan off first. And it's off that big pulley down there. And I already broke mine free, sorry. I didn't get that on camera. But the tools I used, they don't have the proper size wrench. This one came in handy, and a fan clutch holder, which worked good to break that free. Now, once you got the fan off and you want to remove the water pump, you don't necessarily need to remove the radiator and all that. I'm replacing my rad, so, and also for this video to give it more clarity. The next step you want to do is remove these 4 bolts and then take the belt off, and that'll give you better access to the bolts behind to remove the water pump. Alright, let's pull this belt off and remember the orientation of how the belt went. It's always good to take a picture of it or video of it before you go. Alright, let's remove this belt. Well, there appears to be a pipe that comes up and goes to your heater line. I cut my hose because I'm replacing new ones, so it's not a big deal. But I'm going to remove the bolt right here to the pulley, and then we're going to start removing all the bolts for the water pump. Oh yeah, just all over the place. Alright, I got the new thread tape on here, and you always gotta be just behind the threads. You don't want to be covering the whole thread. You just want to be just behind it. Alright, before you put the water pump on for good, you probably would like to size it up a few times just to make sure that hose is gonna go where it's supposed to go and not catch anything. So it looks like this hose is good. Okay, I got my pipe screwed on where it needs to be. I got my gasket kind of put on. You can put silicone on if you wish. It adds added protection. I'm going to try it without, and if it leaks, I'm going to curse like a motherfucker. One of the other things I did too before I put the water pump in place is I put some black RTV silicone on the threads, because I noticed this bolt right here, I don't know if the block is corroded or whatever else, but that went through the block and then went into the water chamber, so I didn't want that one to leak, so I put some RTV silicone on that one. So I put them on all of them just to be on the safe side. Alright, we can put the pulley back on at this point of the game. Your water pump might come with its own screws, so it's good to use them. Alright, once you get your thermostat and your water pump back into place, always remember to fill up your coolant. And then we're going to drink some motherfucking beer. Alright, I'm going to leave my video on that, on replacing the water pump on your Jeep TJ. I went to the extremes because I removed my rad, swapped my rad out and everything else. So for me it was a little bit easier having all that space exposed. Remember to fill your rad up afterwards with pre-mixed antifreeze or mix it yourself. Make sure you bleed it off by whatever methods the manufacturer recommends and everything else. Anyways, if you have any questions or comments, post them below. Otherwise, thanks for watching.